champions. You know, the way that Adam likes to play, they leave it up again, but we'll see if there are any tweaks on the side of Damwon this time around. They could just keep it the same.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising because Adam never plays Rumble, right? So I don't think they're going to first pick the Rumble themselves. You're probably going to go towards Orianna or something along those lines. But that does mean that you would be giving over a free Rumble to Canna again, who I think is just going to insta-lock it. So Orianna's even going to get banned. And now I'm kind of like, where do you go with your first pick? Kaisa first pick feels so underwhelming to me. Like, it's tough, right?
I mean, yeah, I personally really like Azir. And I'm looking at Neeko as the biggest carry for this team that I can really rely on. And Azir is perfect. So, and Orianna is already banned. So that's kind of where my feelings were for it. But we'll let them cook because BDS cook up some of the tastiest meals, even if they don't always work out.
They look really tasty until they burn.
Okay.
Right. Again,
but sometimes they're delicious.
Do they know what they're doing in the kitchen today? We're going to ask the question. Alistar, a good engaged tool, especially when it's a takeaway from Labrov, one of his best champions in this tournament. Also want to mention on that Azir note, I mean, ShowMaker's Azir has been pretty clean, and against KT was the shining light.
He does the Hail of Blades Azir, too. He likes that lane power Azir, so they very well could take it away, but Alistar definitely like that one. The Rumble was a no-brainer. If it's not banned, I think it deals with everything that Adam and BDS really want to do, and that's a core part of the identity of this team.
I really wonder, does he just run it back on the volley and say, I shouldn't have taken that all in that situation. You know, it's already a little bit low. It's not the fault of the pick. It's the fault of the play. You know, try to make it happen.
If they did, I would say mandatory early gank top.
Yeah.
Mandatory.
You must.
Yes. Yeah. I'm only picking this if you're
I've tried that with my junglers in solo queue.
They
no
didn't
deal. Top. No deal.
I wonder why, man.
It was only mandatory from my point of view.
I'll do it with you. I got you. I got you.
Okay.
And I'm going to be playing Volibear. So
let's go.
I'll flash on him.
Well, looking forward to that. Hey, standard picks instead, guys. We're not getting the volley yet. Neeko actually taken this time for nuke through mid. And we get the Rakan for Labrov, so a bit of engaged tools added in.
Okay. Into ShowMaker. Interesting. Blind the Neeko into ShowMaker, and they actually feel comfortable dropping mid-pick in favor of a Canyon Lee Sin. We are going to be treated to a Canyon Lee Sin, though. I will make that deal any day of the week.
Yeah, this is just such a fun pick to watch him play on. Oh my God, it's 3-12 at Worlds. Lee Sin is not doing so hot, but that is not Canyon Lee Sin. That's
exactly.
That's other Lee Sins, and Canyon definitely one of the best Lee Sins in the whole world. If he's not the best. I mean, this guy has just been so insane, especially at his peak. For me, I really was knowing him for the Lee Sin, for the Graves. You know, those are the picks that kind of associate with him most.
And I think, especially with Canyon, you know, you think about how strong this guy is, an individual player, how he can control terrain in the jungle. Lee Sin, the perfect pick for him to try and get it over the finish line, get them their first win here at Swiss, and keep safe from elimination. Garen is the respect ban, though, against Adam. Once again, an addition that needs to be respected, too.
Yep. No respect required for the Volibear, sadly.
I'm just so curious, like, where is Adam going to go here? Because Renekton is his most played. Renekton is a horrible matchup into Ignite Rumble, so you don't want to play that. A couple of his other picks are already banned out. Like, Olaf is up, but I would think Olaf would struggle so hard into Rumble. Yeah. So it's like, maybe you go back to the volley. The only other thing he really played in the LEC was like a couple games of tanks. But as you say, Kobe, it just feels like it answers an entire champion pool. So I'm kind of scared for what BDS is trying to do.
You and me both, buddy. All right, the double protection bans for the Neeko, though, from BDS, trying to make sure ShowMaker doesn't style too hard. They're going to keep ShowMaker's pick even further a secret here as they lock in the Aphelios. That Aphelios is a little bit of a bold Aphelios because you're staring down the barrel of Rakan Neeko engaged, so gonna have to have some fancy footwork there for him. Deft, maybe Kellin picks him up a Thresh or something else that will help him escape, but the Wukong.
Yeah, he does it anyway. Azael, you had questions about this?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, yes, there is potential that you could get an all-in, but the problem is, Rumble has such good poke. If you can't find that all-in really early, I just don't think you're ever going to be healthy enough to look for it. That's kind of my concern in this matchup. I don't have a tremendous amount of experience with Olaf into the Rumble, but it's going to be tough. Like, if you do get ahead, though, I will say this is something that could be really problematic for the Rumble, because then you can build the Hex Drinker, you can start winning these one-on-ones. But I don't know, we'll see.
What I want to see for sure with that pick, Olaf guarantees you, Olaf plus Neeko is an amazing early level 1 invade.
Yep.
Plus you have Rakan. Labrov can do W's over the back of Dragon Pit. You can get really creative with some of the angles for level 1s. I think it's a must-have level 1 for BDS to try and get a flash blown somewhere. You know, maybe they target topside Canna, try and get some summer spells or some area for Adam to work with, because you can, you know, start to snowball that pressure for Adam. He has been very good at knowing the thresholds for those all-ins.
Absolutely, and one thing I will say is that you have to be really careful in these long lanes. When you're a champion that has push into Olaf, he's going to play Ghost. Guaranteed he's going to play Ghost, right? And you can get ran down in those situations. So if Adam can stay healthy, maybe Sheo makes a trip up towards top lane, Canna's trying to bounce a wave, and you can pop the Ghost, look for that chase down, maybe get him ahead, and then maybe go crazy in the rest of the game.
I will say, when you're trying to plan your level 1 right now, even though you have so many good tools on the side of BDS, you do have to be a little bit worried about the counter kind of brush camp with an Alistar on the other side. Those can be devastating if there's really good like counter intelligence done by Dplus, and they set it up. So really looking forward to the opener of this one.
I actually love this. Canna went phase rush rumble. That is actually so smart in this situation, because that is denying the ability for you to chase him down. It's a slow resistance, it's a slow removal, and I think that is going to make Adam's job so hard.
I mean, again, it comes down to this pick. One of the gods' pick has come when they're back against the wall here in this best of 3, in this elimination game for BDS. They're out here for DK, but they love BDS as well.
All right,
and why shouldn't they?
Show me the invade. All right, they're going to try bottom side instead. Looks like pretty shallow from Dplus though, and I don't think they're going to catch anything.
Rakan could wrap around. They're going to commit to this. I think he's gonna go over, and then they could try to have
Deft could just go
where they invade in, and then. Well, I was thinking that they're thinking someone's in this area, right? To the left of where Labrov is. They're thinking someone's there, and then they come up, and then he wraps around behind him. But they're playing so respectful to this potential invade. Like, look where Deft and Kellin are starting. They're so far back. And now...
No one's there. As you said, DK all the way back. Just a quick reminder before we get into it, there's no invade, only award. Don't forget to connect your League of Legends account with Prime Gaming and grab the exclusive experimentation emote. That's what both these teams did in the first game. And now
experiment?
They did exactly that. I mean, those were wild
I mean,
what was the hypothesis?
Dplus didn't really have to experiment too much. Dplus were like, oh, we made a music video on Deft's Caitlyn. Let's go. Win the game. Hey, kind of burns them all down. Honestly, I do like that BDS were going to go for the level 1, but I guess it was just too telegraphed.
Yep.
And Dplus played so nicely and cautiously around it that the only reward is knowing Canyon is starting off on Blue's buff up on that bottom side. But you're kind of going to surmise that anyway, since it's an Adam Olaf top lane. So I hope that it gets nice and spicy up there.
And I'm just so interested to watch the top lane early on. You know, I would love to actually see, how that laning is going to go, because I think it's going to dictate so much of the game. Olaf from behind is one of the worst champions in the game.
True.
It feels like there's not a lot you can really offer. So it's so important that he has a good time.
So is it top or bust? Is that just the simplest way to put this game out? Because we know what the 2v2 is bot. We know what Azir and Neeko, their role in this game. Does it simply come down to who wins top, and that could just decide everything?
I mean, BDS have a lot of explosive possibility for making team fight plays later too. I mean, it's not just that. BDS a lot of the times, does swing with Adam, but sometimes Adam will just leave top lane. You're like, okay, top lane busted, fine, I'm leaving. I'm literally walking mid. I'm literally walking bottom. He'll give up minion waves and walk to the rest of the team, so that Crownie and Nuke can carry.
And I think what we've already seen throughout play-ins, throughout Swiss as well, they'll get really aggressive, like this for Sheo right now, trying to get in the enemy jungle.
And he's doing this because he's got that pushing Olaf top. He's got Adam already shoving in, and there you see him enter the screen. God champion.
Oh, it's an Olaf. No way do you get near that. And under token X, and you get run down. Adam going to do the full run down, and Sheo picks up the red buff. Good invade.
So it's a little bit different of a top lane. Oh, never mind. Gonna get a little burn damage.
Electro Harpoon, overheat as well. That auto attack damage is massive. Ignites down too. DK have countered this onto the Olaf. Oh no, Sonic Wave. You flushed in a straight line, but Olaf into the Conqueror needs a bit of help. Canyon almost goes down, but he holds his ground. First blood to the legendary jungler.
DK playing it out so
And then he misses the grab.
Great timing. Gods can't bleed, apparently.
It's evasive.
That's my goat! That's my jungle goat!
He really like me for real, for real.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just like me.
Canyon's so relatable. Honestly, though, so that was a different, jungler top lane bargain. He's like, I'm going to be, oh, he's not done.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Missed this one.
That was the bargain where Adam's like, hey, I will.
Oh, he hit it. Tempest, cripple, flash, matches Sheo one more.
That's it. Go, go, go.
You know what? He hits the Q when it matters, Kobe.
Forget the gods, because we got the goats.
Oh, okay.
An all in. Nuke's going to run away. Nothing there. But, oh, man, this Lee Sin early. I mean, that win rate is going down the tube this game, it feels like.
Yeah, and they're not going to care about the win rate because it's looking like a dub early on here. We'll see, though. He kind of just played that out so well, waiting in Tri-Brush, kiting it out, using that phase rush proc to then pull back when he was low HP. And notice his buy. It's the Swifties rush. It's all just the anti-Olaf tech,
Wow.
which is so smart. Phase rush Swifties, you're going to get kited. It's going to be horrible because it's so reliant on sticking to your target as Olaf. When you pop the ult, you need to be meleeing constantly to keep that up or it expires, and then you just look like a fool against Rumble, who's going to be kiting back and forth, going to be able to auto-space you out and take you down, and this is just beautiful stuff.
Yeah, so we're now going to see the painful part of it, but I still agree with the original play from BDS. It's just they have to be more cautious and respectful when getting Adam back to lane.
Yeah.
Him having the big push onto Olaf, going in, invading the red buff is good, but then you have to respect that Rumble damage. We saw it set up early on. Cannon, of course, he was just calibrating his aim on the Scuttle Crab so that he could hit the monkey instead.
Exactly. And honestly, Sheo saw him. It was pretty greedy to try to do the wolves in his face when you're down at 30% HP. Maybe feeling a little bit frustrated. The play didn't go your way. We've all been there. We're like, oh, well, I really need this. I can't give this up too.
And you feel like you can do it, just, this camp's okay. I think more importantly, though, we've seen what happens when Sheo falls behind in the early game, right? It was against Mad El Yoya on the Velvet, took over the game, and Sheo on his Vi never really got to have an impact in the game. Here again, yes, it's only one death, but still behind the curve as Labrov tries to change it up. Canna with a clean sidestep and just looks at Labrov. What are you going to do, bruh?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Swifties move speed, beautiful sidestep, but then he's just
There's
ult
the
the wave
wave.
to push it in. And will take the base here, wants to be safe about it. His heat management has been really, really good.
Yep.
And even just to touch back on the Tri-Brush play, he had the perfect amount of heat to get every spell out and then overheat immediately on his scrap shield, right? And that is exactly what you want to see from these top-level Rumble players. It is terrifying when they can do it this well.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything good. He also ignited the Wukong early, so he's going to have vision on the Wukong after he W's away, so they know we can just chase down Adam here. That allows Canyon to go follow it up. He hits the Q. They find the kill. Again, though, it was a good original plan to go for the invade with the extra pressure. All just went so horribly wrong afterwards.
I mean, even now, the trading, right, guys? The summoners were down. Canna's going to deal with the Ghost soon, but still abusing that lane. And as you mentioned, Azael, the Swifties making it so easy. And that's the funny thing. It's not the only lane doing well. I mean, even bot side's doing well. Mid's trading up as well. DK are 1,000 gold up at 7 minutes.
I mean, they're looking really, really good. And they have incredible scaling. It's been about the top side, but you look down, Azir's farming well, Aphelios is farming well. It's a huge concern here for BDS. And I think Adam's time in the lane is already over, to be honest. As long as Canna doesn't misplay, you just can't actually stick to this guy ever when it's early Swifties and that phase rush. He's just really made smart itemization choices here.
I still love that Adam is just stuck to his style and his identity here at Worlds, and him giving his interviews afterwards talking about, I will never be afraid. I don't care, what happens. I'm still going to go as hard as I can with my style, with my champions. And of course, it's going to be hard to control the minion waves now because it's really scary as far as jungle pressure up on top side too. So you saw him leave early, and that is a very big stacked up one up on top side. So maybe he does his patented Adam move and runs somewhere else.
Definitely could. He does have the Hex Drinker. He's walking out towards mid, so maybe an angle there.
Grabbing him down bot side though. Here's the ulti for DK. It extends past top into the bot lane, and Deft and Kellin put them to school.
Nicely done there. Deft and Kellin getting an easy kill
by Nuke
down on the bot side, and Nuke isn't going to find anything. Adam looked for a play around mid, but saw nothing there, so he's just going to head back up towards top side. And yeah, it's been so fun watching Adam. You know, this was the first time we'd ever seen Garen, I believe, at Worlds. In LCK, if I recall correctly, it was the only champion excuse me.
Yeah. we had the whole reckless
the bot lane
bottom
stuff.
with
Oh,
Yubi incident.
I hated that.
In LCK, I think Garen was the only champion in League that has never been picked in the history of the LCK.
Really?
So it's really cool seeing someone bring this out, and now people are kind of getting used to it. It's like, oh yeah, it's a Garen. Of course, he's gonna pick the Garen.
Yeah.
No one else is doing this. No one else has ever really done this, and I think that's kind of the cool thing about it. Because to me, one of my pet peeves with pro play is I always feel like people just kind of autopilot towards the meta picks, and they don't explore some of these picks that can work so incredibly well. So I don't want people to be like, well, it didn't work against DK, so it's not good. Well, it worked against a lot of great players, and he's had incredible games, and players need to keep digging for these things that can give them an advantage.
And I think early game, if it went differently, we could be saying a different story as we look at the bot lane replay.
Yeah, this was a big one from DK. Started out, nicely done there by Kellin. Uses the Q and then saves the headbutt into the wall, make sure they have it. Deft with the ultimate. Burst damage there, no problem. It's
not again.
Gonna get painful.
Oh, Sheo, level disadvantage. That's a fake. Sonic Wave into the clone, but blue buff is now being heightened, rather. Canyon's just going to take this away. Sheo forced out of his own jungle second time.
And all Canyon has to do now is, hey, play around this Rumble topside.
Yep.
Keep invading on topside. Keep on pressuring this Wukong out. As long as you keep any other factors away, the Rumble has all of the speed and all of the slow neutralization in the phase rush and the move speed boots to be able to deal with it. So really good stuff from them. They're just kind of cushioning and padding their way to victory. Plus, that bottom lane is getting their own 2v2 kills. So.
Exactly. It's basically just that battle ward style. You know, you heavily invade, you track the jungler, you know that you win that 1v1, and all your lanes are in such a good spot, the only way they can lose is by getting ganked. So if you're in the Wukong's face, if you're warding up his camps, if you're tracking around the map, there's not really a lot of recourse for BDS, so they need to find some sort of a big play, some sort of an angle to make something happen here, because this is just going more and more in the favor of DK, and it's now an over 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, it just makes it so easy to control neutral objectives in the whole map as jungle too. This is the prime situation you love to be in. He takes up Rift Herald before Dragon is able to spawn onto the Rift, is going to get down there with the Rift Herald, as well as Dragon number 2 spawning up shortly, and DK can just kind of play it by the book, unless BDS pull out a surprise play here. They do have Neeko. Maybe if Nuke gets a little creative here and they can surprise someone. Plenty of follow-up from a Rakan and Wukong, but Kellin's not going to let them get anywhere near his mid laner. They've sniffed him out.
Yeah, Alistar, painful as always. A note on that, Crownie, the jumping in element, has his item. Umbral Glaive lethality here, so there is a maybe, of course, with no hard tank apart from Kellin at this point, but it is an Alistar in the early game. At the very least, Dragon spawns. No one taking a serious look just yet. Vision control set up as BDS get the push in bot side and see what they can do with Sheo to get this game back into a bit of a grasp.
They really want to try to find some sort of a play. I mean, Deft had his mythic completed before he even cashed out his call. So with that, he's now a good 600 gold ahead, but it's DK going in.
All in, but it's Labrov on a Rakan. Kellin trying to follow this one up, looking for Crownie, but his flash is now gone. Deft with a nice sidestep as Canyon joins in on the fun as well. Sonic Wave hits Crownie behind. He finds the Sheo, gets autoed a couple of times, and his health bar moves to 3/4. No way. Take it, Lee Syndrome. Everybody loves it.
Whoa. He's going to let that one go. He's got a bigger fish under the tower, maybe. Rift Herald here ready to activate and feed Deft. It's his birthday, so Canyon brought a birthday present.
That's the cake.
There you
Eat
go.
up, plates for dinner.
If BDS can cut this one, though, Sheo waiting behind with the Cyclone available. Sonic Wave is there, but as you said, birthdays don't get really out of hand until later into the night. So we'll wait on that one as the gold is spread.
No karaoke yet.
That's right. We're not at that point yet. BDS have to win a game first before any of that conversation comes out.
It's a classy birthday party. You know, he's not getting sloppy.
Yeah.
He's keeping it classy here. But Canyon definitely making a mess of things for BDS. He is now 1,500 gold ahead in the individual matchup. Woo. Massive CS advantage. Has that Gore Trigger completed for a while now. Takes the Dragon, takes the Herald. He's moving around the map, and he could just go wherever he wants. BDS have got to try to find some sort of aggressive play, but they're just being tracked everywhere by DK.
The ulti, okay, maybe a counterplay from BDS, but Cyclone's in. There's a knock up onto Labrov. The kick away as well. Canyon with the Sonic Wave won't be followed up. Sheo's ulti's down, the quickness is down as well, and that just opens up because there's no bottom laners there. BDS had to move to the scene of the crime.
This is when Canyon is at his best, when he gets to constantly re-invade, harass you, force you off things. They do get the Ignite, some Summoner spells burn there. Nobody goes down though, except maybe the tower.
Honestly, it's kind of just reminding me of how he played when they won their world championship, where he's always in the face of the enemy jungle. He's always farming away camps, tracking them, limiting their plays, limiting their options. And yes, it is BDS. It is not the top level LCK or LPL team that they're playing up against yet. But people want to see this. They want to see this matchup that gives them hope from DK, because they have so many fans, so many people cheering that they can make this improbable run of 3 straight best-of-3 wins to get it out to the Swiss stage.
Exactly. At the very least, they need to start here, because in the LCK this year, they pretty much always beat teams, any team that was below them, and really struggled to beat any teams that were above them.
Yep.
They were kind of the line here. So starting here, they got to start moving that line up as they get harder and harder opponents coming through.
And I think to counter that with BDS in their year, as we get the MasterCard late economy snapshot, I'm about to talk up BDS.
Close your eyes, EU fans.
Yeah, I'll look the other way. And I'll tell you a little bit about their story, because I think the important thing to note is that for BDS, like, they had such a big year as well, right? Mad in the spring finals. It was reverse swept, unfortunately. Didn't make MSI. It's been such a big run to get here, and then they've drawn DK when they've got this elimination matchup.
Look at the pings. Instantly pings.
And I mean, look how hard it is to make a play. Canna just sitting there laughing. He knows. And
So,
again, that's why this is so hard for BDS.
if you're playing against a Neeko and they are roaming from mid lane, like your mid laner calls they're missing, you should always just keep spamming tab, and you'll be able to see the highlight or count the minions. Can you?
Teleport coming through, kicked away. You're not going anywhere, Nuke. Oh, the problem mode's out as well. DK getting cocky.
That's the Azael emote. Shiny head.
Take that. Bro's a badass.
Well,
I might need to hit the gym a little bit before I look exactly like Bro.
no, don't be modest.
you got him.
Azael, you are shredded, all right?
True. This doesn't show, you know.
That's right. And it is in mind and in body as the turret goes down at the bottom side. I mean, look, at this point, you'd be smiling like Brom with a 7K gold lead, with 2 dragons, with all the side lane control you want in the world. What more do you say?
Exactly. It's really tough now, and Adam has gone a build I think that makes a lot of sense for the 1v1, with this mob, but if you can't find those fights against Canna, he's going to show up to a 5v5, and he's going to get 2 hit by Deft.
Yep.
He's going to have no HP, no armor.
But he's going to kill Deft. Then he only has to worry about a Rumble and Azir.
True.
And Canyon. Yeah, Canyon will be somewhere else.
I like this. Okay, I'm going to call that optimism.
I like how optimistic you're like, he's only going to have to deal with the Rumble and Azir, who are incredibly fed after he one-shots the Deft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. Easy. All right, solved.
Let's not just look at this play then. Canyon forcing them off. Just a side note, Crownie used the ghost through mid simply because Canyon decided to move towards that lane. As second Herald's up, and BDS, I mean, can they even approach this?
They're going to try. I mean, you've already lost the game if you play too slow. So I think they're saying, you know what? It's not going to get better. We're just going to fight. And if we win this fight, maybe we can come back. If you don't, well, you were losing anyway.
At the very least, at half HP now, it's going to be an objective bounty if they find it, but mid in the turret's going down. DK with numbers disadvantages, hanging around looking for the steal. Canyon doesn't get it. And in the end, that's some good gold for BDS, but mid lane is melting. The kitchen's on fire again.
Yeah, the front door is open, and DK are walking straight through it here. Deft and ShowMaker say, fine, we will go right towards the base.
It's 17 minutes, and there's no inhibitor turret mid.
It's no 1647.
I was looking at everyone else. Who's going to say it?
God.
Honestly, though, if I'm BDS, I kind of like it. I want the big objective bounty shutdown on the Rift Trail. The outer towers are only 250 base, and then you get increased by how far you're behind. The Rift Trail starts at the 500. So it's a big cash-in, and you kind of look at it like, we were probably going to lose a lot of those turrets anyways.
Yep. We don't
So
need those things. They were
get-
sure to die.
Yeah, let's get some gold now, and then make some crazy play.
It's just such a hard ask, isn't it?
Waiting on the crazy play. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. Because
So the strat right now is like step 1, make a crazy play. Then step 2, question mark, and hope there's profit at the end.
Step 3, profit. The problem is, DK are refusing to opt into any of the crazy plays. Like, you're going to send 5 there? We're just going to take your couple towers. We don't really care. They're only going to fight on their terms. And look at ShowMaker. He's just going to push in bot. They're taking the dragon.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to get a tower on top side, but DK are always pushing for more. They're not going to be baited into a fight because a bad fight is the only possible way BDS are going to come back. So DK are just tracking and playing towards their opponent's win conditions and not giving it to them.
All I'm saying, objective bounty shutdowns were added to the game for this reason.
Okay.
BDS now got 2 of them. You get one off the Rift Herald, then get one off of using the Rift Herald for the top tower.
True.
So they're playing the game as intended. It is now Dragon number 3 and Soul's coming up pretty quickly, and Dom won't have a giant lead, but you know.
I'm with you. When I'm in a game and we're getting pounded, I just start clicking bounties. I'm like, guys, it's fine.
We got all this.
This guy has a bounty, that guy has a bounty, we can take that tower.
Mark the next bounty. Honestly, I think Canyon's a little too hard to go after, so let's go after these towers that don't move around. How about that?
True.
Exactly. Towers can't ward hop, and that's the important thing to remember here.
They don't have Gore Drinker healing, way easier.
And you got outers, mid, bot, so if there is one successful play, at least they're easy to access here in this game as well. 6,000 just about, a little bit less with the objective bounties you mentioned that have been taken so far. But the problem is right now that BDS in these extended lanes, Adam has to fear for his life, even with the ulti, a lot of burst damage available. Kellin is always on the move. And in 4 minutes time, I mean, with some of these lanes, if there's a pick off by DK, it's the Dragon, it's probably an inhibitor as well. There's so much more they can get it, is at least Nuke is sitting in this turret by himself. You guys were on it. This turret doesn't move at all.
Love it, all according to game plan. I mean, look at the top side of the map. Damwon are invading, they're getting deep vision. You saw Kellin walk all the way up towards Wolves to get this ward, and I think BDS are going to take it, baby. Another objective bounty shutdown.
Okay.
Dplus, now we're going to see their top side influence, but Nuke has a teleport. Is this the crazy play? When will they pull the trigger for the snapshot?
Next Dragon. I mean, that's kind of the deadline, right?
Yeah.
You have to fight at that next Dragon, and I think BDS is going to try to get as strong as they possibly can. If I'm BDS, I'm buying stopwatches, I'm buying elixirs, I'm spending everything because this is your last fight. Going to be potentially at that Dragon, but DK say, nah, we don't need to wait. Time for Baron.
Go for the Baron as well. Look at the green and white. It's not fight, but it's probably that everything's going to be all right as Labrov approaches. Sees it, but the turret doing its own work is through the Hex Gate. Hang on, Sheo goes invisible for the steal to stay in the tournament at Worlds. No, he's taken out, but the Pop Blossom is huge. However, how far behind are they? BDS are trying with their hearts.
I told you he'd kill Deft! I told you he'd kill Deft!
Absolute obliteration from the 4th seed of the LCK.
They're crushing it. DK are cruising. 20-minute Baron on spawn in the face of BDS. That is domination. Adam gets one back, but DK have all but wrapped this one up. They're going to be able to balloon the gold lead even further. And then it's going to be soul time in just 2 minutes.
And you can see the poise on stage for Damwon. They immediately stop damage on Baron, and they focus immediately on Sheo. They're like, the only way we possibly even lose this game is if we let Wukong get in here for a smite fight. So they stop damage on Baron immediately.
Really nice.
Sheo tries to get in there. He flashes it, and he even gets really low, too. Almost in range, but Canyon gives him a little kick, and then they pick up their extra kills. Good focus there by DK. Telling you, Adam will still get his kill, though.
He did get his kill. Now he just has to deal with the Rumble and the Azir, like you said.
All the other ones.
Yeah.
I mean, guys,
Shutdown.
we're going to be optimistic at least in some regard. I mean, BDS now 8,000. Now the Red Bull Baron power play at 2.5K to start off. Labrov is like, hey, where can I go? Happy birthday to Deft once more as Adam's about to get chased down. And this is sending the 4th seed of EU out of Worlds to their grave. And the 4th seed of the LCK giving us a surprise, or at least a solid surprise once again.
They're looking really, really good and just trying to put the finishing touches on this one. It's been an impressive series from them, but it's only going to get harder from here for DK. You know, I think that the main team that they would want to try to avoid, assuming they close this out in the 1-2, is Weibo. That's really kind of the scary one there. But it's that 2-2 round that I'm really going to have my eyes on because there's going to be so many strong teams in that 2-2 round. That is going to be probably the biggest challenge for everyone here. And Sheo on that long potential flank, but there's no ulti for Adam. There's not really any angle for Labrov to look for an engage. He's got no flash, and they haven't fully spotted. So DK just pushing him in, taking down those inhibitors for free. And if they want, they can always retreat back to the Soul, but they may not even have to.
Just so strong, aren't they? With the Baron minions pushing in slowly but surely. It feels like this game will end, and BDS, who made that reverse sweep against PSG Talon, will be at their death knell. They've worked so hard to get here, both in spring, in finals to almost make MSI, both in summer to make it as the 4th seed as the LEC. But Dplus came in so big, and I feel it's fair to say, with one Nexus turret down, with Canyon looking for another angle, that the jungle Grand Canyon seems to be back. Do not give him Lee Sin, I think it's fair to say as well.
Baron buff is about to time out here, though, so BDS have actually stalled.
Oh, no. Have they, though? I mean, Labrov on the edge looks so difficult in Deft's 100th game at Worlds. Looking to finish this out in a clean 2-0. Waiting for the minions to come through. ShowMaker is sick of waiting.
He has wanted to end this game from minute 10 here, just running down the lanes.
I mean, they've stalled a bit, but they lost all their inhibitors. They're losing their Nexus towers. There's a deep TP, but the game may be over.
The Nexus is exposed. DK, it's going to be Canna's flash here, but look for him behind. ShowMaker says no. Nuke doesn't get his dream engaged. Sonic Wave finishes and seals the deal. 4-0 and 2 might not be the biggest scoreline, but it's clean as all hell. DK from the depth of 2-0-2 despair. Bring it back here at Worlds. They will not say die. They will not let the European 4th seed stand in their way. They'll even add more kills to the stats as the shutdown is something. Now they have to get serious, though. They got more opponents in front of them as they knock down BDS.
And Deft's story of the unbreakable spirit, Season 2 begins. Last year was Season 1. They made it all the way to the World Finals. How far can they go this year?
First episode looking pretty nice. I'm going to tune in.
It was definitely a good one.
The pilot has got me. I'm hooked.
Honestly, yeah, Dplus, really, really impressive stuff from them this time around. But we did kind of allude to it in the LCK this year. They also had a very, very good record versus all the teams below them.
Yep.
The expected kind of wins, and then struggled to punch above themselves. We will see. Can they really climb this ladder? Because they have a lot of best of 3s ahead of them.
They do.
To make it all the way out. Starting out with the 0-2 start there does mean you have a long road.
That's what they're used to this already, as we must say goodbye to BDS. A quick reminder of how far they've come through play-ins.
So much personality, so much passion here, staying true to themselves.
That's right, Adam didn't change, was saying it on the cast. Adam has been himself from minute 1, and his team just had so